a year ago, I was not in that place. I was absolutely at rock bottom. My marriage breaking down. I couldn't see the wood for the trees. I'd only just got my head around having had cancer, and then my world fell apart all over again. And so when I came to see Master O, we had a really special session, and he, I think he saw a lot of light and a lot of joy, and he said to me, the marriage broke down for a reason. You're on this spiritual journey now. You're on a new journey. You have to embrace it. I'd never done this sort of healing before, really letting go, really releasing and surrendering. And I found the treatments, I felt very energized. I felt very cleansed. And sometimes I feel very zingy, I felt very alive. I feel it activates you on a cellular level.
Hi there, welcome to Get Enlightened with Master O, a program about healing, energy and wisdom. And we're here with Master O, who's an ambassador for healing, happiness and health for humanity. And we're also here with Katie Nicholl, who's a royal author, TV journalist and Vanity Fair royal correspondent. Katie Nicholl has covered some incredible things, from William and Kate's wedding to the Queen's funeral and lately the King Charles's coronation. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. It's lovely to be here with you, and it's lovely to see you, Master O. It's always very nice to come back to the centre.
Katie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have been a royal correspondent for the past 17 years, so I'm just aging myself a little bit. I actually fell into the world of royal correspondence by accident. I ended up at a party one night many years ago, back in about 2006, with Prince Harry. And I was covering celebrities at the time. I was writing about the lives of celebrities, and I realized that actually Prince Harry's life was much more interesting than any of theirs. And I started writing about the royals, and that led to a very fascinating career that took me around the world to some wonderful places, watching William and Harry grow up, watching them fall in love, watching them get married and start families, and chronicling the lives of all of the royal family. And as you say, the death of late Queen Elizabeth II, the coronation of the King. I've written, I think, 5 books now about the royal family. I'm about to start writing a book about my healing journey and my life more recently, because actually my life's taken a very unexpected turn in the last 2 years. I was diagnosed in 2023 with a very rare form of liver cancer, which I found entirely by accident. That was a real wake-up call, a terrifying wake-up call. I'm a young mother. I was only 46 at the time, with 2 small children, and a busy career and a busy family. And it just literally just took the foundations out of my perfect life, and which I realized wasn't such a perfect life. And it took me on a remarkable journey. And well, it's been an eventful 2 years. I separated from my husband. We were together for 26 years, married for 18. We decided to separate, and during this journey, I found Master O, and I found some wonderful spiritual healers and teachers. And I've seen this as not just a recovery from cancer in terms of the physical disease, but an entire spiritual rebirth, I think, is how I would describe it. And it's been quite extraordinary, incredibly empowering, and has taught me to live my life in a very different way now. In a way that I would say to you, I feel like I'm living my best life.
Gosh, that's so encouraging. And I think, you really are an emblem for hope for people, and something that so many people can relate to. And I find it so extraordinary just to know that when Kate and King Charles were both being diagnosed with cancer, you yourself were recovering from cancer.
Yes, I was.
And nobody knew, I suppose.
No, I had decided not to tell anyone. Obviously my family knew. I didn't tell my 2 young children, because they were, my son is only 7, my daughter was 11 at the time, and this was such a rare and aggressive cancer. I knew I was going to survive. Something inside me, I knew that I was going to be okay, but I knew I was going to have to go on a journey. And so I wanted to protect them as much as I could. And it was only in the last few months, actually, since I've gone public with my diagnosis and written about my illness and gone on television and talked about it, that I told my children. And actually they were fine, because children are a lot more resilient than you realise. But when this news broke earlier in the year of 2024, it was, and Charles and Kate were both suffering from cancer. It was an extraordinary thing, because I was standing in front of the camera, broadcasting on NBC to America about their cancer, knowing I'd just gone through the same thing. So I had a huge amount of empathy. And what was really important for me in all of that work was that I wanted to send a message of hope. I wanted to send a message that was positive, because you've got anchors in your ear. Oh God, it's cancer, this is awful. And I was actually able to say, yes, it's cancer, but they found it early. The treatment is fantastic. We have a spiritually enlightened king, I think, who uses homeopathy, who is open-hearted in that way, and who is doing phenomenally well. So it's not the end. And I think that's a really important message, the message I try to share with people and try to share with children, my children particularly. Obviously, not everyone's diagnosis is the same, but the thing I've learned in all of this is to never give up hope. There is always hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your own cancer. What was the diagnosis, and what was the process that you went through?
So I had an inkling. It was the end of 2022. I'd covered the Queen's funeral. I'd written 2 books. I'd made my own series of podcasts for Vanity Fair. And I was feeling very exhausted, and I was feeling run down. And I started to get these heart palpitations. And I just thought maybe it was possibly perimenopause. My marriage wasn't in a good place. I thought maybe it was anxiety, possibly burnout. But something inside me just told me I ought to go and get checked out. And a girlfriend had told me to get checked out. So I did. And my GP was very proactive. He sent me for a scan. And it was during a scan of my aorta that they picked up something on my liver. And a further MRI revealed that to be something called a cholangiocarcinoma, which is a form of bile duct cancer. So in your liver, it's almost like a tree of bile ducts. And there was a tumour the size of my palm here on my liver.
And was it inside the liver or attached to the liver?
It was within the bile duct, sort of on the left part of the liver. So 10 days later, I was operated on by a wonderful surgeon called Dr. Dora Pisanu. I call her the psychic surgeon, because together we had a connection. And she said to me, this is going to be a fight. You know, this is a nasty, aggressive tumour. It has to come out. But you can do this. We will do this together. We will get you better. And her approach to that was transformative for me. And I had 11 hours of surgery. They resected the left lobe of my liver, which has now grown back beautifully. I spent the whole time envisaging the green that Master O is wearing, because the liver is green, and I see green, and I would be in nature. And so my recovery was in nature.
Right.
And through a lot of meditation and healing and energy work, and within a few months, I was not only growing this new liver, I was healing myself, and I was back at work, and I presented the coronation while I was on chemotherapy. No one knew. You know, I think the doctors were quite astonished. They kept saying this recovery is miraculous. And it was, because the miracle was in here. The miracle was inside me, which was this determination and this energy that I found inside myself to help my body heal. And I think that's what I did.
It's incredible. Katie, thank you for sharing your story. It's really, it's so inspiring, and everything that you've been through. You must have been really scared at some point.
Yeah, I was really scared. I was terrified. And in fact, after my diagnosis, you know, once I'd sort of told my parents and my then husband, I picked up the phone to my medium. I've used him for many years. He's a beautiful, spiritual, wonderful man called Gordon Smith. And I just said to him, this is what's happened. Am I going to die? And he said, we did a reading, and he said, it's not your time. The spirit world's not ready for you yet. You've got work to do. It's a blip, and you're going to be okay. And between that and my surgeon looking me in the eye and telling me, we can do this, I truly believed and knew that I could.
And then once you had the operation, the tumor was out, and you really, you're a very natural person, and you decided to embark on also being supported by other remedies and more natural remedies as well.
I did.
Tell us about that. What were the things that you tried?
Well,
what were the things that you did?
I had to have the chemo. It was very strongly recommended, and with 2 little children, and I wanted to live. I didn't. This has a high recurrence rate. I didn't want it to come back, of course. So I took the chemo, which was a tablet form called capecitabine, which I actually tolerated very well. And then I had a really open-minded oncologist who didn't want me to go on to too much homeopathy until I'd finished the course of chemotherapy, but was very open to me doing it afterwards. So I saw a homeopath up in North London. I worked very closely with Katie Brindle, who does a lot of Qigong. She taught me Qigong and energy healing work. She introduced me to Master O and Sun Kyung. I had regular healing sessions with Emily. I also used acupuncture throughout the chemo as well, and afterwards. I felt very lucky to have this network of healers and supporters, and I sort of created this infrastructure around the Western medicine that really held me and supported me. And I did a lot of journaling. I did a lot of meditation. I did a lot of prayer. I manifested, I connected to the universe. I had got to a point in my life where it wasn't just my cancer. Both my parents got diagnosed with cancer in the same year. Gosh. My marriage broke down. I lost 2 beautiful kittens in horrible circumstances.
Oh my goodness.
It was like a catalogue of awful things, an onslaught. And I felt like I was naked in this storm, and the universe was just raining down on me. And there was nothing I could do. I just had to let it happen.
What were the things that you remember that gave you the biggest amount of strength in the darkest times?
Love. Love. I mean, my love for my children, for my family, for my friends, for my life, for this beautiful, beautiful life that we have. And, love, I think.
Yeah, love is power, love is strength.
It is.
Connection.
It's huge strength and huge power, and we all have that inside of us. We all have that capacity to love and to be loved, and to give great love too.
Absolutely. And tell us now, how are you feeling now, and are you struggling with anything? Is there anything that Master O can help you with today?
Well, Master O can always help with everything, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to let Master O just see where he feels. I must say, I've just come back from a wonderful healing retreat in Bali and Lombok. I was writing a piece for Vanity Fair, and I have had some wonderful experiences. So I feel amazing, and I was just on the tube, and I just was thinking how joyful I feel in my life. And a year ago, I was not in that place. I was absolutely at rock bottom. My marriage breaking down. I couldn't see the wood for the trees. I'd only just got my head around having had cancer, and then my world fell apart all over again. So I never ever thought that I would be here again, that I would find love again, that I would find my mojo and myself and my purpose. So I'm sure there are probably still some layers to shed. There's still some sadness for the life I thought I was going to have, that has changed now. But I still think the excitement for my new life outweighs that. So I feel very happy, but I'm sure if there's anything that's stuck that just needs to be freed, then I know Master O will do that. And I came to see Master O here when I was going through my chemo, and I was still very scared. And I think anyone that has had a cancer diagnosis knows that it changes your life. It's the ultimate wake-up call. And you can choose to be overwhelmed with fear. You have a choice. I didn't choose to have cancer, but I did choose how I wanted to respond to it. And so when I came to see Master O, we had a really special session, and he, I think he saw a lot of light and a lot of joy, and he said to me, the marriage broke down for a reason. You're on this spiritual journey now. You're on a new journey. You have to embrace it. And again, it comes back to that word that I used earlier, which is surrendering, to let go and to have faith in the universe, to trust that it has my back, even in the tough times.
That's beautiful. How did you feel the energy treatments before? Do you remember when you had the treatments?
Yes, I had. I'd never done this sort of healing before, and I remember feeling. I mean, I had Emily for quite a few sessions. I think she's a fantastic practitioner. I felt very safe with her. I think it is partly about letting go as well. Really letting go, really releasing and surrendering, and I felt safe to do that with her. And I found the treatments. I felt very energized. I felt very cleansed, and sometimes I feel very zingy. I felt very alive. I feel it activates you on a cellular level. That's how I feel about it.
Beautiful. Yeah, sometimes you feel so much lighter.
Yes, there's a sense of levity and lightness, which is lovely, and I always feel that sense when I'm with Master O. I always feel a sense of joy and beauty.
Yeah, and he always says he sees the light in people, and I guess that's what you picked up when you met Katie the first time.
Yeah, you are incredible person, and just you are such an example for so many the people. So many people that has been struggling so much, even though you are facing with very difficult the problems, and you accept because of the love for your children, for everybody around you. It's not the easy step, but from when I look at you, you have a brightness. The brightness you have allow you to use the love for yourself, for everybody else. And when we have this love connect with you, then you listen to the right information from the people, and the right moment, you do the right actions to support yourself, your life. That's what the light does. But you use your the light inside you. You use it beautifully to open the door. When you reach the worst moment, you have to make right decisions, go beyond the fear. But you did that with love, and then once your system is more settled down, you understand you are more natural beings, so you open yourself. I needed to get the help, do the things more natural way to support my life. Yeah. And this is not many people make this decision. Once you get the help from some help, and you stick to it, you are not open to something else. Yeah. But you did that. There's not many people can do.
I think it's a scary thing to do, because you almost want to go back to your old life,
right,
that was safe, that you knew. And I couldn't go back to my old life because my marriage had disintegrated. We had to sell the marital home. It's like everything was taken from me. So it was like sink or swim. And I thought, well, then I'm going to embrace this new life. But you're right. It's overcoming fear to do that.
Yeah, you've done the beautiful work. So more light is coming out through your love. More light is coming out to all the things that sometimes is required to do. You've done it. So this light always coming out when we have a typical time, like yourself. You have to access, you have to surrender to your brightness, your beauty. You did that in a worst moment. And a lot of people in a worst moment, they create more fear, and then they don't have open themselves. They don't have time to surrender to themselves. But you did that. Because of that, and now your life is going to change more and more. I'm we're so happy to have you. Really, thank you for sharing your story. The older people who are listening to your story, and they hear about the example. They they have more courage, more strength to accept their problems, and they have more hope, and hopefully more people having that experience. And it's not the problem that we have, is we have to dealt with the extreme fear, and everybody gonna learn, okay, if I have the problems in my mind and my emotions, my body, okay, my body, my emotions, my mind need so much help, and you care about your body, your mind to be in a best place, and then people can take it that way, would be really helpful to improve their life, look at their life in a completely different way.
I hope so. I hope so. And it's, you know, it's that makes me want to actually write my book about my journey, so that I can hopefully share some of that, because we all have, I'm not superhuman. We all have it.
Right.
It's finding it.
But it's you know, we all know, with a positive attitude, and like Master O says, when you don't close the door, you're open to anything that can help, and you know, always kind of connecting and growing your love, then your body responds to that.
It does. It does. And it's scientifically proven that patients with a positive attitude to healing recover better. And I think more doctors need to share that, you know, they need to get that message out. I remember speaking to one senior surgeon who said, I tell you, never give up hope. And he said, it's something I can't say around a medical table. And I said to him, why not? That's exactly where you should be spreading that message.
Absolutely.
Never give up hope.
Totally. Well, there we go. Okay, well, we've come to the part of the program where you're going to receive a very powerful treatment with
This is my favorite power.
a lot of light and energy. And if you're listening from home and watching, then you're going to receive energy too. So stay with us.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, you received the energy so well.
It's a very real feeling. It's, you know, I can feel it. And inside my tummy always goes, I feel like butterflies. You know, I feel like it's like just a lightness that like all my atoms in my body feel like they're fizzing.
Right.
You know? And I really feel it.
Yeah, the beautiful thing is you receive energy very well, because the whole your system trying to receive energy and the light, more energy, more light, and finally all the cells are finally I can do the better job. I mean, a better state. Yeah, free.
I think it's that feeling of them. You can feel that they just like a lightness, and if there's anything stuck, you let go and you feel it's gone.
Yes. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you're much stronger than the last time I treated you.
Really?
Yeah, I can see, you know, when I touch here.
Yeah.
The before was you're holding a lot of the things that chemo, the toxic.
Yes.
But now the energy, the moving, the faster, moving faster, and energy is stronger.
Good.
So.
Well, I've done a lot of letting go.
Yeah.
A lot of shedding, which is hard, and it's painful to do it, but you have to do it.
Yeah, all the things doesn't help us. We have to allow them to go.
Yes.
And the things should be inside has to grow more and more and more. So you've been doing that job so beautiful, and keep receiving more energy.
Yeah.
The system gonna be stronger. You're gonna be in a much the better place.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Straight back from Bali onto the massage table, and now received a treatment from Master O. How are you feeling?
Well, as I said, I felt good to begin with, but I feel amazing now. It's always such a treat to have to have Master over here and to have a session with him, and it's always a powerful experience. You know, I see a lot of light when I have these treatments, because I sort of see light around Master O. I see a very strong white light, like a very strong sort of connecting light. And I feel, you know, I feel a real sense of lightness in my tummy, because obviously there's a physical touch here. So the organs, it's like the organs are having a little dance, you know? I feel like my organs have been taken for a dance, you know, and I could feel you on my liver, and I just, you know, I feel like all my organs feel in harmony, my body feels in harmony, and the session just has left me feeling very energized. Like I think I could go and run a marathon if I wanted. I'm not going to, but I feel like I could.
And Katie, do you have any questions for Master O at all?
Yes, because I can't take you home with me. And obviously I really want to focus on my continued healing, and I do a lot of visualization on my liver. I visualize the cells being healthy, on staying cancer-free. Is there anything I can do myself in terms of energy work to really focus on the liver, to help the liver to recharge, to regenerate?
Yes, for our body, when having the problems, want to be touched. So put your hands on your the liver, your weak area, and you just putting a lot of the love, a lot of energy, make a huge difference when you have the time, especially during the night, and when you go to bed. Just making sure you have 5 or 10 minutes, and just put your hands on your liver and your low part. The low part is supporting this point, supporting your liver. So one hand here, the other hand here. It's gonna help.
And you can send yourself light and energy.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I will do that. Thank you.
Well, and I hope if you're at home and you've had a tough time, if you've had a tough diagnosis or going through anything in your life, I hope this session can give you so much hope and to truly know that you can overcome anything. Wouldn't you say, Katie?
Yes. Never give up hope.
Never give up hope. So thank you so much for joining us, and sending you lots of love wherever you are, and see you again soon. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.